pressure all the mind.
Young continue. Populating.
It's another lovely Monday morning, and you know what it is. It's time for the Sports Morning Show live on YouTube. It's the Sports 101 Morning Show. And you know what? We gather here after a Monday morning. Obviously, we're here to do an extensive discussion in the world of sports. So, over the weekend, there was a lot to munch on in the world of sports. We will definitely get into Europe and comb around the various leagues, what happened in the English Premier League, the Spanish La Liga, also the other leagues will be getting into it. But obviously, it's a midweek action in the Champions League. On Tuesday, on Wednesday, there are big game matchups in the Champions League. Liverpool will be welcoming Real Madrid. Bayern Munich will also be taking on PSG. It's an all-action packed show this Monday morning. Make sure you tune in. This is the Sports Morning Show. Welcome back to the show. This is the Sport Morning Show right here live on YouTube on the channel Sport 101. If you've not subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and be part of the show. You get to be notified every time we go live on air, and obviously when new contents are uploaded on the channel. So hey, be part of the Sport 101 family. This show is proudly sponsored by Nottingham Forest and Malibu. The guys are already seated, the usual suspects, Same and Kofi. Guys, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
You good?
Yes, we're good.
How's your weekend?
It was okay. It was
Boring, exciting.
not really boring. There were a lot of games to enjoy over the weekend, but it was a quiet one. But it was a good weekend. Yes.
Kofi,
Yeah, good weekend.
you claim you didn't have, you didn't sleep early yesterday, but you're good.
I'm super.
Today you told me you're in a good mood.
Yeah, I am.
Very good mood.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, guys, make sure, like I said, you are subscribed to the channel. Please share the link. Tell everybody, tell your friends. We're live on Sport 101. Obviously, we're talking sports. But guys, let's quickly. It's a packed show this morning. We'll be looking we'll be looking ahead of the Champions League games on Tuesday and on Wednesday. There are two big games that a lot of people will be looking forward to. Liverpool will be welcoming Real Madrid at Anfield. Bayern Munich will put their unbeaten, streak on the line against PSG, the defending champions. We'll get into the Champions League at the second half of the show, but we'll start off with the major issues that popped up in the various Euro leagues. Kofi, I'll start off with you. I think that you and I were very confident Liverpool will lose to Aston Villa, but they halted their 5-game losing streak and 4-game losing streak in the Premier League by beating Aston Villa by 2-0. Kofi, let's get into that game. What do you think went right for Liverpool on the day?
Well, good morning. And all throughout the course of the show, we've always spoken about Slot getting back to the basics. The basics involved him starting with a team that is best suited for the challenge currently. And I think that he is beginning to understand some of the things that people have said. You understand? I look at the team that he put out there over the weekend. There were notable changes to major elements in that team. First of all, he played Robertson, who we have all unanimously agreed that should be starting games ahead of Kekes. You understand? Because yes, Kekes could be a good player, but so far he's not proved himself worthy of being the number one left fullback at Liverpool. And so the manager going back to the drawing board, making sure that he brought in Robertson, who obviously knows a lot about the mentality at Liverpool, knows a lot about what it takes to win a lot of games at Liverpool, came in, did an amazing job at the left fullback position. And then I looked at the midfield. Yes, there was the return to action of Gravenberch. I think that it brought them some solidity in the midfield, because if you look at the midfield, you're always going to be battling against Onana and his friends. You understand? And Onana, from all of the reputation that he's garnered, playing with Aston Villa and playing with the Belgian national team and doing all the things that he's done so far, obviously it was going to be a not so easy evening, for anybody being in that midfield. And I think that the return of Gravenberch also helped the issues in that regard. Plus Eketike playing the Arrowhead, I think that's justifiable. Even though we've heard news about the fact that Isak is injured, I do not believe those stories. I think that
he's recovering from
injury. I hear he's injured. That's what we are hearing, and we've been around football for a while. You understand? We understand some of these things. We understand when it is that you take the player away from the firing line so that you allow him to mentally reset, and I think that is a playbook that has been pulled into action regards this whole Isak scenario now.
You don't
that
think
I do not
his
genuinely
injury is playing a role in his?
It's not about him injured previously. Now there are talks that he's freshly injured.
Yeah,
you understand that, and I'm saying I don't believe
you don't believe
it.
the story.
I don't believe it. I think that he's been taken away from the firing line, help him to mentally reset, come back, and then probably come back a better player. I mean, and we all know the qualities that Isak does possess. But I think that the biggest thing that Slot got right over the weekend, barring any other tactics or any other things that you would want to talk about tactically, has to be a return to the basics, a return to players playing at the right position. I mean, Soboslai playing in that midfield was absolutely superb, you understand? And so I think that it was more about the personnel than it was even about the tactics. And that is what we have been praying for. That is what we have been calling for. And I think that Slots probably beginning to listen to some of the things that people have been saying in the social media. But for me, Aston Villa also underwhelmed a bit. They had chances early in the game.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to Anfield is one of the most difficult places to travel to. When you go to Anfield and you are presented with some opportunities very early in the game, you do have to take the opportunities. I think that Aston Villa did not really take their chances. Liverpool were clinical, they were efficient, and I am a bit surprised that they kept a clean sheet.
For the first time this season.
In so many games. I mean, they kept a clean sheet. At least good blocks to build on. I think that they can probably find a winning pattern from the blueprints that they pushed out over the weekend, and then probably launch on it to salvage their season.
Some people believe that it was not so much of what Liverpool did right. Aston Villa, especially in the second half, were just in sixes and sevens. They were all over the place. You watch that Villa team that took on Man City. It was a totally different team in terms of how they played and the approach to the game. So they made it a bit more easier for Liverpool to be able to play and adapt to whatever they intend to, because on the day, Liverpool were not extraordinary. They just got the job done, basically because Aston Villa didn't come to the party. What's your take on the game?
Well, I think that Villa did what they could do. Against City, it was two different style of play, different kind of tactics against the Pep side. There's a way Manchester City play, which is a bit more patient and a bit with a little. They take a little more time with their build up, but that was away from home. But when they're playing at home, it's a different ball game. Like we saw when teams have a go at them against Villa. Villa didn't necessarily have a go at City. They took their chances and then they sat back. But the Bournemouth side that will feel like we want to go toe to toe with you, and we saw the kind of goals that City scored, which were mostly on the break. And so there were two different approaches. But against Liverpool, I agree with what Kofi said and with what you said. This is a Liverpool side that didn't really do anything extraordinary. They got the job done. It was just a typical example of the Liverpool that we knew last season. They were not extraordinary, but they found a way to get the job done. Now, what made the difference for me was Slot going back to the basics. I think he's realized that this same point we've been making since the start of the season, why we think Liverpool will not win the league is that you don't make wholesome changes to a title winning side.
Yeah.
And we saw that apart from the goalkeeper, who would not have started if Alisson was available, Liverpool practically played with last season's team. It was only Ekitike that was up top.
That's true.
If you look at the back four, it was the same last season. Conor Bradley with Konate and Van Dijk and Robertson. You look in midfield, it was McAllister and Gravenberch. And then the three behind the striker, it was normal, typical Salah and Soboslai and Cody Gakpo. And then Ekitike was just the one up top. And then you look at the bench. They had all these guys on the bench. But Slot made just one change in 90 minutes. Somewhere around the 70-something minutes, he brought on Florian Wirtz for, Hugo Ekitike. And that was the only change in the game. So it tells you that he's realizing that you don't just get to make wholesome changes tactically and in terms of the personnel that you bring into the team.
It affects the structure of the team.
It affects everything. Because when they started, you brought in Frimpong and then Kekes, and then you brought in Florian Wirtz was starting games, and then it was Ekitike or the one what's his name again, the one from Newcastle,
Alexander
Isak. And then these guys coming into the team, that's about 4 or 5 different players in that starting 11, and it just destabilizes that telepathy in the team, because if you have a certain way that you were playing, you integrate these changes gradually. You don't just start and make wholesome changes. It will take time for them to build. And I remember saying at the start of the season that whilst it's taking time, you're dropping points. And the Premier League is very, 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 very inconsiderate, where you drop points and then drop points. By the time it clicks for you, maybe by December, then you're already about 10 points, 12 points off the top. And then that's the league gone for you. So you make these changes in bits gradually, if it's tactical, if it's in personnel and all of that. And I'm thinking that he's beginning to realize that. And that's the reason why, of all the money Liverpool spent last season, it was only Ekitike that started in that team that won against Villa. And I'm thinking that we might see something similar in the Champions League or in the league against City, where he would not make wholesome changes again. He would maintain that same team, because this is a team that have played together, have won the league together. And just like we're seeing with Arsenal, it's only that front line of Victor Gyökeres that is that main change. And then there's Eberechi Eze who has come in. So you just tweak one or two things where you feel like the team is lacking, and then they can improve upon. So that's the reason why people like Kofi would think that Slot is not a good manager, because last season he didn't really make any tactical change or anything wholesome, because it wasn't necessarily his team. He gets his first big transfer window, makes whatever changes he feels like he wants to make, and all of a sudden the team is struggling. You don't expect people to understand when you say that a title winning side needs time to adapt or needs time to get their acts together. It doesn't make any sense. He just won the league, and so what time do you need to adapt? You just need to build on what you've already done in the previous season. And so it was a huge error that I think that Liverpool are realizing that they've spent a lot of money, and it's unfortunate that they will need time for these guys to adapt. So I don't really think that it was anything tactical that Slot did. I just think that he went back to the basics, went back to the old team that were already getting the job done, and then just made a little bit of tweak up front with Ekitike coming in, and then you could tell from his changes off the bench, just one change.
Guys, Kofi made a statement in relation to Isak, saying that he doesn't believe the stories that is flying around in relation to, oh, the reason why Isak is not playing is because he's picked up an injury and all of that. He thinks that it's more of a way to get him mentally settled in the team and to get him going, and he thinks that's just a smoke screen. So I mean, do you we always say that for big boys, top players, top strikers, you don't need time to adjust. I mean, Kylian Mbappe, even with all the, you remember, even before he moved to Real Madrid, so many issues at PSG. I'll play, I'll not play. He, in a way, some say he scammed Real Madrid at some point. Yet he walks into Real Madrid first season, wins Pichichi, big boy, big player. Erling Haaland, from Borussia Dortmund, comes into the Premier League, hit the ground running till date. Players, are we sleeping on Isak, thinking that he's up there and he's not up there?
I think the mental aspect of the game is very, very important. Isak is a top player, in my opinion. I think he will thrive in this Liverpool
So why is
side.
he struggling?
But it's not just him. The entire team is struggling. And
Ekitike
so
isn't.
I think that from whatever happened in the transfer window with all the fuss around him, yes, you would expect that he should thrive, but he's walked into a Liverpool side that is also struggling. So obviously it's going to affect the player's output in the first place. So maybe as we've seen some of the changes that Slot has made going back to the old system, if he would continue with that and then he has Isak up top, I think that we might get to gradually see Alexander Isak, get in his stride gradually in this Liverpool side. I don't think he's a bad player. He's a player with Premier League experience. He comes into this Liverpool side as one of the top strikers in the Premier League. Except we want to be mischievous, but it's not as if the Liverpool side is going all out and blowing teams away or winning games and then conceding goals, or they are playing like Arsenal and then he is not firing. It's different. The entire Liverpool side have been poor. So I wouldn't necessarily blame him now, but I think that he's being managed as a result of the huge price tag, as a result of the fact that the media would make a lot of big deal about his performance if the team is not playing well, because he will be that focal point. He's the most expensive player in Premier League history.
Yeah.
Right. So coming into this Liverpool side, whether the team is playing well or not, people will have a go at you. Imagine if he was playing for Man United and he wasn't performing, so they will always have a go at you. And so I think that the Liverpool, team in general, the coach and whoever is in charge, are trying to manage the situation and gradually ease him into this Liverpool side. So yes, there are reports that he's injured. Whether or not he actually
Do you believe that report?
I don't really believe it. He wasn't in the team over the weekend. Sometimes coaches give players time off to go on personal training or get their fitness right, because he didn't have a preseason and all of that.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's injured. I think he's just being managed by the Liverpool side, and hopefully when he gets back, the team will be playing well, and then that would make it easier for him to slot in, because if the team isn't playing well, it makes it more difficult for him, and the pressure will continue to mount because the media will be all over him, because he will be that person that people will be looking at, not Mohamed Salah, because Salah doesn't have anything to prove in this Liverpool team. He wasn't bought for over £100 million. So I think Liverpool are just trying to manage the situation, but eventually, I think Isak will come good at Liverpool.
We want to know your take on this particular issue and Liverpool's game over the weekend against Aston Villa. Do you think that Isak's absence is genuinely due to injury, or you think that the hierarchy at Liverpool are trying to get the guy to recover mentally with I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but is there a genuine injury, or you think that it's just the team trying to manage the situation and ease him into the team? Let me know your thoughts on the show right here on Sports 101. It's the morning show where we talk nothing but sports. In the comment section, in the chat section, keep the conversation going. We'll talk about Manchester United and Ruben Amorim. He made a statement. He says that he aims to win the title this season, and it's about a year since he took over from Eric Ten Hag, as the new Manchester United manager. We'll get into his 1 year in quote tenure at Manchester United. If genuinely, with the right materials, this man will win Manchester United a title in the next, a year or two. Kofi, City, made in a way you want to say little work of Bournemouth. I thought that game would be a very competitive game, but from the blast of the whistle, City controlled the game. They took the game to Bournemouth and they beat them by 3-1. Erling Haaland, with a brace there. Ryan Cherki also with a double of assists. I mean, Kofi, Man City, they are not reneging on and pushing Arsenal all the way to the title.
Well, I do not agree with you if you say it wasn't competitive. The scoreline looks a bit flattering than what the game actually panned out. I think that Bournemouth gave a very good account of themselves. And I was overly impressed by Semenyo. I've been taking my time to watch him in the Premier League. And I think that all of the talk around Semenyo regards the Premier League is absolutely legitimate. He is a top player in the Premier League. You understand? Works hard, has become instrumental in that Bournemouth team. You look at the way he runs the left channel for Bournemouth and how he links up. There's a left fullback that Bournemouth does have. Very, very good player.
They seem to be producing Spanish. Very, very good left fullbacks.
Yes, from that South American boy to
Kekes,
okay, that South American boy was with Brighton. Sorry. No,
Estupiñán.
Yeah, he's with Milan.
He's now with AC
Milan.
Milan.
Is no longer there.
Yeah,
He's now with AC Milan. Yeah.
They have a left foot. I think he's Spanish. I mean, but I think that Semenyo, very, very, very good player in that regard, doing very well, and they really, really troubled City. When you watch City games,
Is it Truffet?
yes,
Truffet.
yes,
Yeah.
they really worried City.
He's actually from France.
France.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's French.
His name sounded a bit Spanish to me,
yeah.
and I think that if you look at City, they are not playing well.
Okay.
They are not playing well. They are being carried on the wings of Erling Haaland. And 2 goals. I mean, he took them very well. I've always told you, I've never liked Erling Haaland's game. There's nothing that would make me want to pay to watch Erling Haaland. You understand? But he does his job efficiently. 2 goals away from 100. I think in the context of the EPL in 107 matches,
That's crazy.
he's a brutally efficient machine. And I watch City. I watch the newbies. I watch all of these players who have come in. I think that the left fullback really impressed me. Riley impressed me a lot. And Sheki is growing into his game. It looks like he's learning to link well with Erling Haaland. I mean, there's seemingly some chemistry developing between the two players. And I think that for now, when you have good players, you can always ride on them. For now, they are built out another week. They get to go back to the drawing board, try to build more chemistry, and then work on some of the things that needs working on. But let me also be quick to say that City have a lot of average players. And for me, it's unlike a Pep Guardiola team. Doku should not be playing for City.
But he started the season.
No,
very
it's not
well.
good.
He didn't,
Yeah,
he didn't have a
no.
good game yesterday.
Jeremy Doku is not a good player. Doku is not a good player. Doku is not.
Why do you think he's not a good
What
player?
is it about him that would make people pay money for?
You know, he has the most take-ons in the Premier League this season.
I mean, look. Who worries about take on?
No, if you're able to take a player on, it means that you
take on a player to which effect? So
his output obviously is
so
a
what
problem.
is the end product?
Exactly, his
because
output
if you're
obviously
able
is
to
a
take
problem.
on a player and then you do not have any end product to your game, which is very, very visible with Doku's game.
Yeah.
Many a times he lacks the end product.
That
So you're able
final
to
ball,
take on
that
players.
decision
Yeah, we agree. You take on players and all of that. But what is the end game? I look. I've looked at City. I've looked at when they were in their pump. Doku is not somebody who should be playing for City.
But would you genuinely also agree that before City became City, relatively, most of the players they brought were all in quote average when Rodri was coming from? Nobody knew him.
No, but Rodri had a high profile coming to City.
Almost everybody.
No,
Kofi, you
no,
agree.
let's not
When
try
you say
to. No,
high
no.
profile,
Let's not try to.
high profile. You're talking about a player
let's
like.
not try to.
Let's say.
Hold on. Let's not try to paint this narrative. I do not like those narratives.
Rodri was high profile when he was coming to City.
Where did Rodri come from?
Atletico Madrid.
No,
he wasn't even a starter.
Highly sorted after.
Yes, but he wasn't.
No.
You know, I think maybe Sammy, I don't know what you are getting. He was sought after. He was tagged as. He was actually tagged as.
Not be a high profile.
He was actually tagged as the next Sergio Busquets. You know, Barcelona even wanted him, but even in that Atletico team, our own party was playing ahead of him.
No, because he was a young player.
Exactly. So there are young players who have high potential, but they were not high profile. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
No, but the point is simple. I still maintain that Duku should
Bernardo Silva from Monaco wasn't an A-lister.
Bernardo Silva. Lucky. Today is Monday.
Yeah.
I don't want us to be pushing those boundaries. Please, you do not sit on the other side and tell me that nobody knew Bernardo Silva when he was coming from Monaco to City.
That's not what I said.
And that he was
banned. I said he wasn't an A-lister.
I am
he wasn't
saying,
a marquee player.
No, I haven't spoken about marquee players. Why are you trying to push that narrative?
When you say high profile, what do you mean? Let's get.
They are players who the world is watching to get to the next level. Those are high profile players, unless you have something wrong, elementarily wrong with my definition.
So Echeverri is a high profile player.
Who is that?
Exactly. Because
Echeverri
won the Argentine young best player. He was ranked top 2 in UEFA FIFA under 20 best player.
I am still
the world was watching him when he signed for City.
Who is he?
Franco Mastantani. When he was coming to Real Madrid, he was ranked the number 1.
Who is he?
Echeverri, the young Argentine City signed.
Where does he play for City? No,
they actually he's on loan at
exactly. So he doesn't play for City. What point are you seeking to make?
Per your definition,
with that
you heard his definition for high profile. Per your definition, these are players the world is seeking to.
Let's not drag this issue.
Again,
guys.
The issue here is if City, according to Kofi, if City are not playing so well, yet they are getting the result, is that not a cause for concern? Because if they start playing well, if the team starts gelling, these are bunch of majority average players. If they get it going, that should be a cause of concern for the rest of the league.
No, City are always a cause for concern for the league. And one thing about City is that they don't always start well in recent times.
Yeah.
But if City is somewhere around the top of the league by New Year, then they are in there. If City are still second by the start of the new year, then Arsenal are not safe. Because whether it is 8 points difference, whether it is 5 points difference, if Arsenal is top of the league and City is second, City are still favorites to win the league.
This City team?
Yes.
Oh, because I don't even think they will be top 2.
You might look at this City team and say that they are one of the worst City teams you've seen in recent time, but they are in that conversation. And for how they might be struggling, or they are not consistent in terms of their wins and all of that, they are still there. And it's a City team. This City team is like, it's like a diesel engine. They might take time to get heated up, but once they get in that groove, they get into January, February, you can check their stats. They don't drop points until the end of the season. They keep on winning and winning and winning, irrespective of whoever they meet.
You know, I checked last season, even with their terrible season they had, because of their consistent round of games, I think from March,
Yes.
they placed third.
So when City gets into the new year, from February, January, March, thereabout, you can check their stats. They hardly drop points. They can go on 10 matches unbeaten. And when I say unbeaten, 10 wins in a row. And that's 30 points. So at the start of the season is where sometimes City get their blips and all of that. And then last season, for example, and they lost Rodri at the beginning, and then that was where they had their hard times. And going towards the end of the season, we saw some sort of consistency from them. So Manchester City, in my opinion, yes, the team is not the same team that we used to know. When you see this City team, you look at the lineup, you look at the quality that they have in midfield, from the flanks, it's usually scary. But now this City team it looks like an average team, because you have Bernardo Silva, who I feel he's not really that Bernardo Silva that we used to know a couple of seasons ago. Cheki has come into the team. He's a good player, but there are still some other players that are way better than him in the Premier League. They've brought in Tijani Rangers. Yes, he's also another good player. But there are also other players that will start ahead of him, that are in probably play for Arsenal or play for one or two other teams that will start ahead of Tijani Rangers if they have to compete for the same position. So you look at City and how Pep Guardiola tries to get the best out of his players. So look at somebody like the right back. What's his name again? Is it Nuno? The right back, the one
Portuguese
who
boy.
played, the one who played right back.
Nunes.
Nunes.
Yeah.
You look at Nunes. You look
Another
at
average player.
the other one who played in their names
Nico
are-
O'Reilly.
No, O'Reilly played at left back.
Yes.
Yeah, even him, a young player.
But he's actually even a midfielder, but
Yes,
converted
yes,
into a
but I'm
left
talking
back.
about
Yeah.
the one who played in that Rangers position yesterday.
The one from Portugal who
No, is it Vadio?
No.
not Guardiola.
I'll get his name for you. You look at these guys in this City team, Nico Gonzalez.
Nico
Gonzalez,
Gonzalez,
yeah,
yeah.
the one who came from Porto.
Yes,
Yeah.
you look at the City team, and then they have Jeremy Doku, and I just feel like it's a regular team, but they are coached properly. So if they can keep building on whatever it is, yes, I think they are in there, to compete for the title. But again, the team to beat is definitely Arsenal. You look at this City team, I don't even think that in terms of quality on paper they are better than Liverpool. Liverpool have a much more solid team than Manchester City. And if Liverpool were probably coached by Pep Guardiola, maybe it's going to be a different conversation altogether. Because this Manchester City team is not as solid as we know them to be. But
Yeah.
they have a brilliant manager who, for some reason, knows how to get the best out of his players. Erling Haaland is taking his chances. But again, let's see how the season plays out. What I can tell now is that City are getting the job done at home. When they go away from home is
That's where
where
they
they've been
struggle.
struggling
Yeah.
this season.
Kofi, I mean, when Sami went there, let's go there. Now, it's interesting. Arsenal have kept 7 clean sheets this season. They are the team that concedes the least the least number of shots per game. They are the team that has conceded the least number of goals per match. They are the team with the meanest defense in the league, and they are the team that is leading the league table. Is Arsenal showing us a glimpse of what it takes to win the title this season? Teams are struggling to even get shots on target against them.
Great defenses win the biggest trophies, and I'm pretty sure Mikel Arteta has learned his lessons. Like we've all said on this show, time without number. If Arsenal do not win the league this season, Mikel Arteta needs to be fired. And look, it's psychologically draining to play against Arsenal now because you do not know where the goal is going to come from. And so teams that line up against Arsenal now might be wondering what it is that we need to do to get a goal against Arsenal. Because look, if you do not lose a goal, you're virtually walking away with a point. And that's the philosophy that Arsenal is very much riding on this season. They are keeping their shape. And make no mistake, this has not happened coincidentally. You know, over the span, that Mikel Arteta has been at Arsenal, they've been one of the best defensive teams in the EPL for 3+ years. You understand? So I do not think that
It just
it's
happened
come.
this
No.
season.
It's not just come this season. It's something that has been intentional. It's been worked on. It's been a blueprint. It's been a project. It's been a major part of the project. And so you look at even the goalkeepers that they have. They have Kepa being one of the deputy goalkeepers. They have Raya. You understand? A centre back position. Look, they have arguably two of the best centre backs in the world today. A left back. They have Califiori. They have Justin Timber who can play a left back and a right back.
Lewis Kelly can even play at left back. Yeah.
Look, and then in front of the defense, they have Declan Rice, who is about one of the best in his positions in the world today. So there's already a lot of solidity in midfield. There's good balance about the team. It looks like the boys exactly understand what it is that it takes to win. And Sami mentioned something. I do not think that City can actually push us now to the end of the race. But you know, when it comes to crunch, you need characters who can rise to the occasion and then navigate the course. What I think Mikel Arteta is trying to do is to build a big enough buffer between themselves and the chasing pack, so that if the likes of the Aston Villas, like they did last season, pop up, or they did 2 seasons ago, pop up, and then disrupt the party, there will still be that buffer that makes sure that they are able to sustain their hold at first place. Look, what Arsenal needs to do is to break this jinx. Once they are able to break this jinx of not winning the league title in 22+ years, the floodgates are going to be open.
What will it take to beat this Arsenal team? Because and
No, to
you
beat this
listen to managers who have played them, they
to-
categorically say this team is difficult to beat.
To beat this Arsenal team, you need to be at your best in all departments. You need to keep your concentrations high. They are beatable. Yeah, they are beatable. But you see, they are built an aura of invincibility around them, and I think it's more psychological than it is physical. And so they already get into your head before you even step onto the pitch. I think they are beatable. To beat this Arsenal team, you need to play a perfect game. And not so many teams in the world
Exactly, is there
they
a
can play.
perfect game?
I think that, you know, beginning of season, few games into the league, we are still in the honeymoon period.
That's true.
Once we start navigating the junctions of the Champions League and we are introducing other businesses in, and then the competitions come in thicker and faster, we are going to see what the real deal is. But for me, they look very good for the title now.
Sammy, what will it take to beat this Arsenal side? Because, like I said, they've considered the least number of goals in the league. They've have the most clean sheets in the league. They are conceding the least number of shots per game and on goal. I mean, they have the best defense in the league. All it take to beat this Arsenal side.
Well, I think Arsenal are currently one of the best teams in Europe, and if anything at all, it's just to match them, and that will be very difficult because the only thing that can go against Arsenal, we've said it time and time again, is they are their own enemies. If Arsenal is going to have a bad season or not win the league, it means except the team self-destruct. That's the only thing that can defeat Arsenal is Arsenal. I don't think that this Manchester City team can compete against this Arsenal team. The Arsenal team is a much better team than City. But the City team have a better manager than Arsenal. And so Arteta is the weakest link in this Arsenal side, as I've always said. Again, Arsenal so far have been fortunate because things have been going well for them in terms of injuries. They've not had any difficulties, save Odegaard. And then they have good replacements.
Saka was out for 2 months.
That's the thing. Arsenal have recruited
No, but
right.
I mean,
So-
do you wholly agree that Pep Guardiola is a better manager than Mikel Arteta at
Yes.
this material
Oh,
time?
yes. Even if
He's
you
always
go
been
back-
a-
back of it.
he-
No, but you
always been
people
a-
are the same people sitting there telling me when I made those comments about Vinicius Junior that it's about now, it's not about what
Yes.
you have done in the
Even
past.
even
I mean,
now,
you do not
he's
think
the
that
best-
Pep
he's
Guardiola?
better than Arteta.
Oh, come on! How do you say that?
I was never against, because I was
you
talking about
are working
in terms of-
contradictions. When I mentioned Vinicius Junior being class, you were talking about the fact that it's all about you can do now.
But
I
now
mean, is
Vinicius
there-
Junior is not playing well.
Is there a better manager in the league than Mikel Arteta now?
No, you directed Lucky.
I'm directing at you because
No.
you made the comments that Pep Guardiola is a better coach
No,
than
don't direct
Mikel
at me
Arteta.
because the analogy you're giving.
They are
I
two
disagree
different.
with Lucky when he had a go at Vinicius last week.
No, my,
Well, I agree. Maybe I'm misdirecting
so
to the
you should direct it at
proper
like-
term.
No, the point-
No,
the point-
but
yeah.
is there a better manager in the PL now than Mikel Arteta?
holistically, yes.
Why? Who?
Like, you just heard a name
No,
out there.
who
from
is
producer
better
one.
than Mikel Arteta in
He
the
said
league now?
Maresca.
Let's get serious. I mean,
No,
this is serious conversation.
I think that-
Who in the league is a better manager than Mikel
And Slot
Arteta?
is even is a better manager than Mikel Arteta in the Premier.
You know,
What is Arteta doing that makes him better than Slot?
Come on!
No, what has Arteta
What
done?
makes Slot a better manager
He
than
is
because
the
he
ca-
won,
he
because
is-
he won the league?
No, it's not just because he won the league. He is the current Premier League manager.
No,
of
that's a lame excuse to
Why
make.
is that a
Actually,
lame
excuse
where
to
Kofi
make?
is coming from is that now if we do a poll on the managers or the probability of managers getting fired, Arteta will be last on that list because he's currently the best performing manager in the league. So if we are looking at it from that angle, Arteta is the best performing manager in the league.
So then it,
So-
it defeats the narrative that how many games have we played in the league? We just
Then why is it that some managers have been fired? Why are they not saying how many
because
games have
they
we
are
played in the league?
Terrible.
So it's the same thing. Why have people like Postecoglou and then Nuno, what's his name again?
But Nuno-
Why
Yeah,
have they been fired?
Nuno's
Why has the
situation was
Wolves
different.
manager been fired?
Herrera.
Why are
He's
we
been
not saying that
terrible.
how many games have we played? So if we are being objective, Arsenal is the best performing team. Their manager is the best performing manager. If we are supposed to fire managers, Arteta will be the last on that league, on that list. So, but again, when we are talking about the quality of managers, you look at the likes of the what they have achieved in the game, their experience that they bring to the game. When you talk about winning the league, Arteta does not know what it's like to win the league.
You people, I think you are always letting Pep Guardiola
And-
go
and
away with me.
Sometimes that psychological advantage is what makes certain teams outdo other teams.
Yeah.
As Kofi himself said, when Arsenal are able to win the league, I think it would do them a lot of good psychologically, where next season they will be in that conversation.
But they've always been in the conversation.
And that's why
Just
they've
that they
always
don't-
been wannabes.
Just that they don't win it.
Why have we always laughed at Arsenal when it comes to Europe? Because they've never done it. And so if Arsenal gets to the semi-final, if they get to the final, Arsenal, all their players,
Yeah.
together with the coach, together with the fans, will all be nervous. Because they've never done it before. They don't know what it's like to win the Champions League. If Jeff decides to break his virginity,
Yeah.
he will be nervous.
Yeah. Very, very.
He might
nervous.
even be a 2-minute man or a 1-minute man because he has not done it before.
Yeah, he might even put it in the ties.
In the wrong place.
Ties thinking that he's in there.
Yes. So, but if it's something that he's done before or he's seen before,
Yeah, like Kofi.
Yes, he's a veteran.
He will know how to navigate his way.
It won't be anything new.
His hands, his nose.
Yes.
Legs, yeah, everywhere. Add
So-
that one too.
So you see, for people like Lucky that like big things, when they see it, they are not faced.
Yeah,
But if Jeff sees something like that, he might not even have that composure.
I will share with you a story after the show.
So for Arsenal, I think that if they get to have certain challenges, let's say for example, Arsenal have been stable at the back, which has been solid for them.
Yeah.
If Arsenal gets injury scares, if they get to lose a Gabriel, a Saliba, or both,
Don't they have competent replacement? Kofi made mention that
They have
Arsenal
cover there.
have enough
They
cover that
do
could
have
compete
cover.
with a lot of the teams in
But you see,
Europe.
you might just have a couple of players out of the team, and then it destabilizes the team.
That's true.
Mentally, it affects the manager.
That's true.
And we've seen that with Arsenal before. We saw that with City. But at the moment, it feels like everything is aligning well for Arsenal. And so they are in a good place. And it's working out fine for them. And I think that if things are the way they are going into the new year up until the end of the season, I don't think there's any team that would be able to stand the might of this Arsenal side. So if anything will go against Arsenal, it is this Arsenal themselves that unless they self-destruct, I find it difficult that another team will usurp them.
Okay. I want us to spend a little time, talking about Ruben Amorim and Manchester United. Then we obviously talk about the La Liga. We'll dovetail into the Champions League. There's a big game coming up in the Champions League. Liverpool at Anfield will be welcoming Xavi Alonso's Real Madrid. Also, Bayern Munich will be taking on PSG. They will be putting their 15 games, unbeaten across all competitions this season. That's Vicente Kompany's men at the Allianz Arena against PSG. Obviously, we'll be at Malibu. That's where all the action will be. It's an emphatic watch along with Sport 101. So wherever you're doing the watching from, especially if you are in Sekondi Takrady, join us at Malibu. Malibu is just located behind Amtrak, right here in Takrady. I mean, when it comes to leisure, when it comes to pleasure, that's where you can get it from at Malibu. They have excellent quality service, their drinks, their food, amazing scenery. So we'll be having a live watch along with the Champions League, and I'm sure it's going to be fun because we might probably be doing the board games, right? We'll be doing board games. It's going to be fun, but I'll be talking to you more, or I'll tell you more about what is going to happen at Malibu. But Kofi, I mean, all throughout since the appointment of Amorim, you've been very, you've backed him. Think this man will get the job done. Yesterday, in his post-match interview, he said that he aims, let me quote him, he aims to win the title in the next 1 or 2 years with Manchester United because he thinks that he's seen a lot of progress with this Manchester United team. Is that what you concur with that statement?
I agree. I agree. If Arsenal do not win the league title this season, Manchester United will win the league title before Arsenal does.
Are you talking about this season or
If
subsequent
Arsenal do not win the league title this season,
Okay,
Manchester United are going to win the league title before Arsenal does.
I get you now.
So I agree with the manager. We are the ones who watch football games. I think Manchester United are 2 or 3 signings away from challenging from all of the biggest trophies in the world. Yeah? If they're able to sort out their midfield, if they're able to sort out some extra bodies in the defense, get another competent striker, make the squad bigger. Manchester United are ready to challenge.
Have you seen
And,
huge improvement in?
I have.
In this 1 year,
I have.
What are the improvements away from what Eric Ten Hag and the other managers did? What have you seen
First
improve
of all,
about this?
Manchester United plays with a plan.
Okay.
So post Alex Ferguson, the theory out there has always been that Manchester United have appointed managers who have often sacrificed their blueprints to align with instant success, thereby leaving the team a bit broken away from what the reality ought to be in terms of focusing too much on the results instead of establishing a dynasty. And then I think that for so long a time, Manchester United were not paying so much attention to the on-field actions. Manchester United as a club were so focused on making money, were so focused on building the commercial wings of the club. But this is the first time I've seen people who care about the club, who understand the rudiments of football, who have made the right approaches, who have made the right signings. Look, the likes of the Omar Berades, the likes of the Jason Wilcoxes, these are people who look. Jason Wilcox, a couple of days ago on the Manchester United page, said that Manchester United know what to do to get to the top. If that is not good news to you, then I don't know what else is good news to you. And they are prepared to do what it takes to go to the top. You understand? They are prepared to not just sign talented. He made those comments, not just sign talented players, but players who are talented and can cope with the pressures of playing for Manchester United. And that's what gets me excited. Look, if you look at all of the transfers that were made in the summer, the biggest ones, Cunha, Mbeumo, Sesko, these are people who are high-profile players. But the point is that have they settled in and understood what it is like to play for Manchester United? It's a big yes. And that's what gladdens my heart. Plus, my manager is
good enough to
tactically
take his team.
good to rub shoulders with any manager in the world. Tactically.
Okay.
Amorim is tactically good enough to rub shoulders with any other manager in the world. I've said in private that if anybody picks up the Manchester United job, you are fighting against minus 90. So you would have to battle the wave before you start making positives. It's easy to coach Chelsea. Nobody cares about them. It's easy to coach Liverpool. Nobody gives a hoot about them. It's easy to coach Manchester City. It's easy to coach Tottenham Hotspur. So the likes of the Angies have come in and people have said that, oh, okay, Angie Ball and all of that. You know, Thomas Frank has come in at the beginning of the season. People say that, oh, a couple of games into the season, this man is already implementing his philosophies. You look at Tottenham now, you understand? You look at, over the weekend, they played just 2 shots on target. Nobody is even talking about them.
Because they met a very good defensive team and a very
Chelsea.
solid midfield.
Chelsea.
You saw Fofana over the weekend.
Chelsea.
And I think Chelsea missed that player.
Hold on.
Chelsea missed Fofana.
Hold on.
I will be fair I'm not really a fan of Jeff.
Hold on. Chelsea?
Yes.
Fine. That's fine.
I'm not really a fan of Jeff. But Fofana,
that's
Caicedo is the best midfielder in the world.
Hold on. One step at a time. That's against Chelsea. If you know and understand what I'm saying.
Let's focus on Manchester United.
So I am excited with the progress that has been made. I look at the league table. Now, Manchester United are 8th on the league table. In fact, temporarily, when they scored that first goal against them,
they were third also.
They were second, actually. They were second. I mean, they are third on the league table with 17 points, a +1 goal difference. Obviously, a lot of goals needs to be done in there, but they are not too far away from the top 4. They're just a point away from the top 4.
Yeah.
You understand? City are second with 19 points. Liverpool are third with 18 points. And Bournemouth are fourth with 18 points. Then the other ones follow. You understand? Spurs, Chelsea, Sunderland, Man United, they all have 17 points.
Yeah.
But you look at the experience of those managers above Manchester United, the level of opportunities that they have had to be in that job, and then what it is that they have built. You understand? To be able to rub shoulders with some of these boys, even early on in this season, and to see the way Manchester United is playing. Look, Amorim, you might think he's joking, but I like his arrogance. I like his cockiness. I like his personality. To be able to win at Manchester United, you need to have a big personality. You need to woo the media. You need to let the media hear not their narrative, but your
own
narrative.
narrative.
And I think that so far, Amorim is ticking the boxes. He's putting himself ahead of the players in the eyes of the public. Nobody is talking about the players. The players can focus on doing their job. But with what I've seen, it's only a matter of time before Manchester United
Sammy,
rises to the top again.
Kofi says it's only a matter of time. Amorim says that he aims to win the league in a matter of time. So we are looking at a year, a 2 season from now. Next season, he's looking at winning the title. Can he do that? 1 year in charge at Manchester United. Have you seen progress? What progresses have you seen with this team?
Obviously, there's been a lot of progress with this United side. I think the biggest challenge was getting certain players out of the team. Certain players that he felt, and then a lot of United fans also felt that didn't deserve to be playing for United. A lot of those players didn't fit into his system. So United backed him in the transfer window. There were lots of talk about the forwards, the striking options, the guys playing behind, even the goalkeeping situation, and all those issues were addressed. Now, the only issue that United fans keep talking about is the midfield. And United, I know, are already preparing for the January transfer window where they are looking at making 1 or 2 changes. And, we have always talked about the fact that you can't make all your changes in one transfer window. It doesn't work like that. You need a couple of them to be able to make those changes. At the start of the season, we saw the new guys try to settle down and struggle. And a lot of people were bashing them. Alexander Isak is still trying to settle at Liverpool, but nobody's bashing him. But people are talking about Cunha and Sesko and those guys at the start of the season. So now we are getting to see the team play in a certain way. I think the biggest improvement for this Man United side has to be the mental aspect of the game. When United concede, how they are able to recover. And we've seen that over and over where there are certain games that United will probably lose, like the Forest game, but they find a way back and they should have won that game. But for some brilliant defending by Nottingham Forest. And United themselves, lapse in concentration, conceding those 2 goals. So we've seen a lot of improvements from this United side. I think we still have to see some kind of balance in the team because I was particularly furious that Ahmad had a bad game. Save his goal. I don't think Ahmad had a very good game because when you have a game where teams have a go at United, then he tends to struggle defensively. But when United are on the front foot, you get to see his quality. But it's difficult because you already have Mbeumo, Cunha playing in that role. And so you cannot have Ahmad playing there as well. So they have to find a way to fit him into the team where he can add his attacking threat. And we saw that with that equalizer because that equalizer by Forest for that first goal, you could obviously see that Morgan Gibbs-White bullied him to get that goal. So there are 1 or 2 changes that the team is trying to make, but the biggest improvement has to be that mental aspect.
Okay.
And on Thursday, was it Thursday or last Monday, we mentioned Amorim's changes, his in-game management, and the fact that a lot of people have been calling for Firmino and those guys to get playing time, and the fact that when he took off Casemiro in that game against Brighton,
Yeah.
we saw what happened in that United midfield. He brought on Ugarte and all those changes, and I think he's growing into that role where he's beginning to understand how his players fit into that system. And then we saw the changes he made. He made that change. He took off Dalot and brought on Dogu. And then I think he took off Lenny Euro and brought on Mazraoui. The midfield was the same. The attack was, he made only 2 changes. He didn't touch his midfield. And I think that if he had done the same thing that he did against Brighton, United would have lost that game.
Okay.
So he's growing into that role, and I think that if United backs him in the transfer window, he gets 1 or 2 players in, especially in that midfield role. I don't think United are far from being in that top 4, top 3 conversation. United could have been in the top 3 now if they had won that game, but they are somewhere 8th. But that's just a table because there are lots of teams that the difference between themselves and the top four is just about a point. So one win can get them in that position again. What's important is that they are in that position, and there's a massive improvement from where he picked the team up a year ago and where they are now, most especially how the team is playing. So I don't doubt that United can challenge for the title in the next season or two. I think it's something that is very, very, very possible.
Guys, if you're watching us, how far is Manchester United away from the title? And let me know in the comment section. I'll be reading your comment pretty shortly, and we'll get to obviously engage you in the comment section. Keep the comment coming right here on the show Sports 101. It's the morning show right now, right here on Sports 101. We're live on YouTube. I'm a bit confused. So what are we? Anyway, guys, that's what happens. I mean, when you go off air. This is Sports 101 right here on. We're live on YouTube. Let me go through the comment section. This the man Sammy says that Liverpool will be back to default setting in the Champions League against Real Madrid. that game is going to be massive, and like I told you, we'll be live at Malibu. They're located at just behind Amtrak. You can't miss it. You can't miss it. An amazing place. I'll be telling you more about Malibu pretty shortly. Jeff says that Amorim will win a teaspoon. Ruben Amorim believes that in a year or two United will win the title. Bingle says that I think Rodri was a starter during his time at Atletico. Partey was mostly played as a right back and fell in love with Rodri at Atletico. He comes back saying Rodri played for Atletico for just a season with 34 caps, and so please, like you come again, he was an integral player. Oh, nobody's saying he wasn't integral, but he wasn't a big boy. Sammy, this City team can't, close the gap between them and Arsenal, even as at now. The 6 point between us and now is the best they can finish with. This Arsenal team is not the usual one you've known. Okay, that's coming from Lyrics. Lucky, your question should be, what will it take a team to score a goal against this Arsenal team? Because shots on target teams are not getting, and you are thinking about beating us. That's the Arsenal, family there. They are raving about, this particular Arsenal team. And I think that they are very, very solid. And the guys agree that, hey, Kofi believes that you have to play a perfect game to be able to beat this, Arsenal side. And like I told you, we'll be live at Malibu tomorrow, where the Champions League games will take place. And let me run by you the fixtures for tomorrow's Champions League games. And at exactly 8 o'clock, Real Madrid would be taking on Liverpool. The game is happening at Anfield. At that same time, PSG will be hosting Bayern Munich at the Parc des Princes. Arsenal will be on the road to Slavia Prague, all the way from Anfield. Napoli will take on Frankfurt. Atletico Madrid will take on Union St. Gilles of Belgium. Bodo Glimt will welcome Monaco. Juventus will take on Sporting CP. And the final game for the day will be Tottenham Hotspurs welcoming FC Copenhagen of Denmark. So these two big games we'll be covering at Malibu, and it's going to be Liverpool taking on Real Madrid, whilst PSG will welcome Bayern Munich. On Wednesday, Chelsea will travel to Karabakh to take on Karabakh FK, where Barcelona will be on the road to in Belgium to take on Club Brugge. Manchester City at home will welcome Borussia Dortmund. Villarreal will take on Pafos FC, whilst Ajax will welcome Galatasaray. Benfica will take on Bayern Leverkusen. Inter Milan will welcome Karat Almaty, whilst Marseille will take on Atalanta. The final game of the day will be between Newcastle United and Athletic Club de Bilbao. And like I told you, the entire team will be at Malibu to ensure that we'll bring you a live, watch along for our Champions League game. When I say Malibu, I'm talking about leisure, I'm talking about pleasure, I'm talking about quality. They are located at Takrady Harbour, just behind, Amtrak office. So, I mean, if you're seeking for a place where you can dine with the family, relax, after, a stressful week or from the office, Malibu is where you need to be. And on Mondays, they have a special package for you where you buy a dish from 200 cedis upwards and you get 10% discount for free. On Thursdays, we say Thursdays is Malibu and Malibu is Thursdays. On Thursdays is the happy hour where you buy one mineral, one water, or a club beer and you get one for free. Malibu is an amazing place to be, and we'll be there this tomorrow to bring you a live watch along. The entire team will be there. We'll have a pre-match discussion. Liverpool against Real Madrid, Bayern Munich against PSG. It'll be an interesting environment. So wherever you are, make your way to Malibu and let's have fun, obviously. And it's not just Malibu. Let me also tell you about Nkonim phones. I mean, they are the phone hub in the Western region. If you are in Takrady, they are located at Market Circle. So just near Bank of Africa. Go there. Tell them you heard from, Sport 101. You want to grab yourself, a Google Pixel Pro 10. They have it. Samsung S21, they have it. S22, they have it. S23, they have it. All the latest flagship phones, iPhone 17, 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max, they have it. And their phones are quality. I can attest to it. So pick the number on the screens, just call them. And if you need phone accessories as well, batteries, chargers, phone cases, earphones, earbuds, earplugs, whatever it is, Nkonim phones will have you sorted. Guys, anyway, interesting. Sammy, Liverpool will be taking on by Real Madrid in the Champions League tomorrow. Liverpool have not really fared well this season. In 6 games or 7 games, they picked up a win in the Premier League. They were struggling up until over the weekend. In the Champions League as well, on the road, they lost to Galatasaray. They'll be welcoming red hot Real Madrid, led by Kylian Mbappe. Sammy, how do you foresee that game going?
I don't think there's any way around it for Liverpool, honestly. I think that in as much as the game is at Anfield, it's a Real Madrid that are currently on a very good run of form.
Yeah.
And this is the Champions League. And so, in my opinion, I think that Liverpool will have a hard time against this Real Madrid side. They haven't started the season well.
Yeah.
This is a Real Madrid side that are currently unbeaten in their last 5-6 games. And Liverpool themselves have not really started the Champions League well as well. And so they have, I think, 2 wins out of their first 3 games. And so it's not bad, but they need to be top 8 to qualify automatically. And it's a Real Madrid side that are flying. So if you have the likes of Vinicius and Mbappe and Bellingham and these guys coming to Anfield, I think it's a totally different ball game altogether. Maybe Slot might maintain the same team he had over the weekend to ensure consistency in that game against Real Madrid, but I think that Real Madrid would just be a little bit too much for Liverpool.
Kofi, has always said that, and I agree. If you look at the quality of opposition in the La Liga, it's that bad. The La Liga is a weak league compared to the Premier League. In the Premier League, almost every week there's a blockbuster game, even if you are playing against a mid-table side. But in the La Liga, you can't say same. I mean, teams like Atletico Bilbao, Villarreal, the opposition is not that strong. And so if you're high flying in the La Liga, you don't tickle yourself and laugh. You're coming up against a team, yes, they may be struggling in the Premier League, albeit a much more difficult league. Don't you think that also counts for something?
No,
The strength
I
of both teams compared to the oppositions they've played against in their various leagues.
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's about who is playing well at the moment. Liverpool are not playing well. Real Madrid are playing well, and this is the Champions League. The La Liga has always been the La Liga, but Real Madrid are still the biggest winners in the Champions League, irrespective of whatever competition is in the Premier League. So the Champions League is the Champions League. I think that form is very important when we have this conversation, and as it stands now, Real Madrid are the team in form. So I still don't see. Yes, it might not be that Real Madrid will blow Liverpool away, but I think that they will just be a little bit too much for Liverpool, because the Liverpool side is still trying to kickstart their season. They need a run of good results to get that confidence back, and I don't think Real Madrid is that game that they will start picking up those good run of results. I'm sure at the weekend too, they have their minds at the back of their minds.
Yes,
they have Manchester
against
City
Manchester City.
the
How do
Etihad.
you,
So
you know?
Liverpool just need to go past this patch, and then maybe they can have some favorable fixtures where they can gather some wins on the bounce. So this game, I think, has come too early for them.
Kofi, do you stand by that narrative? And that same question to Sammy goes to you. Don't you think that we are being too, a bit hard on Liverpool in relation to they are playing in a much more competitive league? And so if you're high flying in the La Liga, it doesn't mean you are all that. This is a different ball game altogether. Can Liverpool put a stop to Xavi Alonso's men?
Real Madrid is bigger than the La Liga. Let's not overindulge in that
narrative.
theory. Real Madrid is bigger than anything in the La Liga, and they do not operate primarily based on what it is that exists. And I'm glad Sammy put it aptly. You understand? If you look at Madrid, there's a reason why they are the biggest soccer institution in the world. They've always been. And bottom line is, look, it's not just about Liverpool losing to Premier League teams. They have been beaten by Galatasaray, even in Europe.
On the road?
On the road. But this is Anfield. You are a team which can't defend. That's the issue with Liverpool. You cannot defend. And seemingly, the cogs in your attack are not finding their best form. So the point is that tomorrow, I weep for Konate and Van Dijk. In my head, how are you going to stop all of the attack that Real Madrid are going to launch? How are you going to stop Kylian Mbappe? It will be a horror show. In my head, when I close my eyes, I see Kylian Mbappe running against Van Dijk. It doesn't end well in my head. So it's not really about Liverpool. We're trying to sympathize with Liverpool not playing well and all of that. Point is that there are fundamental flaws with the way they are playing now, and you do the last opposition you want to meet, who will not probably magnify what it is that you are going through, has to be Liverpool.
Champions League night at Anfield is a totally different ballgame.
But it's still Van Dijk. It's still Konate. It's still Keke, probably. Or maybe if they still... Look. Even if it's Monstantano or it's Adagula, whoever it is. Imagine Vinicius running against that small boy who plays the right fullback.
Conor Bradley.
You guys are
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, that's a movie. It's a nice movie.
I am telling you that imagine Vinicius Jr. running against Conor Bradley.
You guys are making it look like it's going to be a difficult night for Liverpool.
Ask Barcelona how they felt against Real Madrid. If not for VAR, Barcelona would have taken 6. I've gone back and watched that game. Real Madrid should have had 3 more legitimate goals. And in that game against Barcelona, they scored 6+ goals. We are not hyping Real Madrid, though. The threat is there when it comes to their attacking potent.
So Madrid is beating Liverpool tomorrow.
Oh, if Liverpool walk away with a draw, they have my respect.
The tape will play this tape on
If
Tuesday.
Liverpool
on
walk
Thursday.
away with a draw, they have my biggest respect.
If Liverpool walks away with a draw, Kofi says they will have his biggest of respect. Same has also been emphatic. Liverpool is losing to Real Madrid tomorrow. The game starts at 8 p.m. exactly at 8 p.m. By 10 o'clock, we'll probably know whether it has gone the way of the guys or not. But it looks very emphatic. The guys do not see any way Liverpool is beating Real Madrid. Another big game that we would also be doing a watch along to is PSG will be hosting one of, if not the hottest team in Europe currently, Bayern Munich. 15 games across all competitions, unbeaten. They are scoring for fun. Do you see an end to companies, unbeaten run?
Bayern Munich are playing very well. And the scary thing is that it looks like they have an extra GS to move up. You understand that? Because look, they are all doing all of this without Jamal Musiala.
He's back in training.
Arguably their biggest creative hub. Yes, I respect the likes of the Olises and all of those Luis Diaz's and all of those other boys who have stepped in and done a job. But look, when you have a fit and a properly fit Jamal Musiala, that is big trouble for everybody. That is not so good news for everybody. And so they are doing all of that. You look at the options that Bayern Munich do have. I think that Company is one of the people, a lot of people did not give a dog's chance to when he took up the job position at Bayern Munich. In fact, people felt that Bayern Munich Bayern Munich were jumping ahead of themselves. But he is becoming more of what can really come out of potential if the environment is right. And for people who have worked within the confines of Bayern Munich, they will tell you that until you prove that you cannot do the job, there will always be that support system for you to thrive and to give the best out of yourself. And I think the company has showed it.
But this is not Leverkusen. This is not Union Berlin. This is not the teams in the German Bundesliga. This is not Pafos FC or Karamat Almaty, the team that they've played so far in the Champions League.
No, but the point
is the defending champions that have arguably the left back, the best left back in the world, the best right back in the world.
I agree.
Some of the best players in the world, and currently the best player in the world.
I agree. But have you been watching PSG lately? There's something wrong with PSG now. I don't know what it is, but PSG are not the same team they used to be.
Last season, they even qualified through the back door.
No. It's not really about last season. I've watched them now. I mean, Ketsi, some of our TV outlets now. We watch a lot of these French league matches live. You understand? I watched them against Nice over the weekend. They do not.
They're actually struggling to win games.
Exactly the point. They are even struggling to win games in the league. You understand? So I think that it's too early in the season, but this is PSG. They are not really playing well. You understand? I think that this game will give us a good measure of where each of the projects are and their outputs this early in the season. I think that will give us a fair gauging of where it is that we are expecting the two teams to lie when the final clarion call comes calling. But for me, it's an interesting game for me.
Who wins it for you?
Well, I'll say Bayern 2 week.
Wow.
I'll say Bayern 2 week.
Sammy, I mean, Kofi believes that this game will be probably the best test to weigh where the two teams are, and if Bayern are really as the big deal as everybody wants them to believe. Do you share in that narrative?
Yeah, I agree. I think Bayern Munich have, together with Arsenal, have been the best teams in Europe this season. And if you look at how they've been winning on the bounce, they are yet to lose any game this season. And so Bayern are solid. And if you look at the PSG side they are coming up against, this Paris Saint-Germain side, they are supposed to be an improvement on what they were last season. But we are rather seeing a Paris Saint-Germain side that is on the decline. If not for that goal from Gonzalo Ramos, 90 something minutes,
95th minute.
they would not be top of the series, the French league now. Marseille would be top.
What do you think has gone wrong with this
I don't
PSG
know.
team?
I think recruitment could be part. They weren't really active in the transfer window. They trusted the squad they have. They felt like the young guys, Mayulu together with Bradley Bacola, Warren Zaemri, and all these guys were up their game. But Bacola is one of the players I don't really like at Paris Saint-Germain. I think he's a very talented player, but his end product is always bad.
He's like a Dooku.
He does everything,
Everything
right,
right.
but the end product is always terrible. And he has a lot to learn. And with this Paris Saint-Germain side, with a few injuries here and there, Dembele doesn't start the games because he's gradually being integrated into the side now. Desiree Doué, he went off injured in the last game. Marquinhos, similar. They changed their goalkeeper. There have been a few changes in this PSG side. They used to have a constant trio of Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and João Neves. Now you don't really have that consistency in that midfield. So there are lots of subtle changes in this Paris Saint-Germain side. And if you watch PSG lately, they've been dropping points, and they've been costing a lot of investors. And so Paris Saint-Germain is not that team that you can bank your hopes on at the moment because they are not playing very well. They can dominate play, but they are not winning games as convincingly as we know PSG is supposed to win games. And when you're coming up against this Bayern Munich side that is flying, on paper you might look at their lineup and you would wonder they don't really have a lot of exceptional players in this Bayern side, but they are playing very, very well.
All the front three all have double figures in goals and
Yes,
assists this
so
season.
when you look at what Bayern is bringing as compared to PSG, on paper you can say that PSG have bigger names in their team, but Bayern Munich are playing very, very well, and I think they can go to France and get a result. I don't see them losing that game.
Will
against
they?
PSG. They will. I don't see Bayern Munich losing the game. Best for PSG, in my opinion, will be a draw. So Bayern Munich, I think, will get something from PSG.
So I mean, let me do this message. This one, Bright says that I like the fact that Amorim is dreaming big, but when he wakes up, he will know that it was just a dream. In relation to Amorim saying that he believes that in a year or two, as if not this season, next season, he thinks United is winning the English Premier League. Keep your comments coming in the chat section. Sammy, a quick fire on the Champions League games, then we can do a wrap up on the show right here. Tomorrow, Napoli against Frankfurt. Napoli at home.
Napoli are beginning to pick up form. They had a dip in form a couple of weeks ago, but they are beginning to pick up form. So I think that they would be okay against Frankfurt. I can't really predict in terms of who is going to win or who is not going to win, but I know there'll be goals in the game.
There'll be goals in the game. Kofi, Juventus, who have sacked their manager, not playing so well, will take on Sporting CP. Where do you think this game might eventually
I think
end?
Juventus will win.
Juventus will win. Let's quickly. I'm doing a selection of the games on Wednesday. Barcelona, on the road in Belgium to take on Club Brugge. It looks like Lamine Yamal in quote is back after his divorce with his current girlfriend. They broke up or whatever you want to call it. Kofi, Barca on the road to Club Brugge.
They need to be careful. Club Brugge are a dangerous
Stubborn
team.
side.
Very
stubborn.
dangerous.
Very, very stubborn.
So they need to be careful. Ordinarily, you should not be expecting Barca to lose that game, but this is Club Brugge. They score a lot of goals. You understand? They are a free scoring team. And Barca just need to get their defenses in check. If not, they could be exposed.
Wow. Sammy, and this goes to both of you. Man City at home to Borussia Dortmund. Last season they played them. This season too they are playing them.
Man City win. There are certain games that Man City will always show up. So I think, yes, it's another game that I think we'll see goals, but I think in the end, Man City win.
Kofi, do you share in the
I agree.
Man City is winning this
I
game?
agree.
Okay. Finally, let's do this game. Chelsea away to Karabakh FC. It may look like it's a straight win, but is it on the road?
Please.
It's a straight win for Chelsea.
The best midfielder in the world, Moise Caicedo.
Please.
Anyway, guys, Sammy, a final word before we wrap up on the show. I mean, I'm sure you probably tell them where they should meet us tomorrow.
No, we'll give them the update on the page, but
Okay.
tomorrow is Champions League football, so whatever updates, just keep your eyes and your keypads locked. Sports 101 page on all social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Any update that needs to come, and we post a lot of updates on the group. We don't do the shows every day, so as and when the updates come, there's always something new on the Sports 101 page. So if you're not following the Sports 101 page, you should do well to follow the page and then catch every updates that we have for you on the page.
Kofi.
Yes, we hope to catch them again very soon. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining us right here on Sport 101, the Sport Morning Show. We are live every Monday from 9 a.m. To 11 a.m. Also on Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We do have some few surprises for you, so make sure you are subscribed to this channel. When the notification drops, you get the alert, because like I told you, there are lots of surprises that will be coming from now till the year ends. Just keep subscribing if you have not. Share the link as well. Tell your friends about the biggest sports show right now on YouTube every Monday and Thursday. I did this with the guys Sammy Reward and Kofi Asiedu, and we'll catch you again same time on Thursday.